Welcome to Limerick Insider on limerick.ie, the monthly video news service updating you on the events happening in Limerick City and County. In this episode, we take a look at some exciting tourist spots in Limerick and the recent Africa Day celebrations. CurraghChase Forest Park is the woodland estate and lakes around the shell of the 18th century CurraghChase house, home of poet Aubrey de Vere. It is now open as a state forest and park. CurraghChase is currently involved in restoring native woodlands to important sites in the park. There are 313 hectares of mixed woodland and 8 kilometres of multi-purpose way-marked trails. They vary from the multi-access trails suitable for wheelchair users and family walkers to the longer Curragh and Gleniska trails suitable for those looking for more demanding walking and cycling. There are also 2 children's playgrounds, picnic and barbecue facilities and a caravan and camping park.
The most notable feature about the estate is the house here behind me. It's connected up with the de Vere family and they had lived here for many generations. The most notable descendant of the de Veres was Sir Aubrey de Vere. He was a renowned 19th century poet. It was acquired by the state back in 1957 and became a forest park in 1970. So we've 8 kilometres of walking trails, so there's 4 different options. You have the Lake Trail, which is a multi-access trail, the Arboretum Trail, which goes out the side of the house here and takes in many specimen trees. And then you have 2 trails, the Curragh and the Gleniska Trail, which go back into the forest and into the woodlands. And there's also a permanent orienteering course. So you can actually download the maps and there's question books as well that can be downloaded from CurraghOutdoors.ie, so that makes it an ideal kind of family destination.
Lough Gur is one of Ireland's archaeological and historical gems. The beautiful and enchanted lake lies 21 kilometres south-east of Limerick City. The surrounding area is a fairyland of stone circles, ancient habitation sites, megalith tombs, crannogs and castles. Lough Gur tells the story of the pre-Celtic settlers who first came to the area over 5,500 years ago. There is now a core team of approximately 10 trained guides who can show you the most historical sites in the area and who will pass on their knowledge to you in a friendly and informative manner. A wide variety of tours are available, from general group tours held from mid-June to mid-August to more personalised tours depending on your own requirements. Your guided tour begins with a trip through the countryside, passing by Ballinety, Roxtown Castle and Herbertstown. Take time to wander through the visitor centre with our many wonderful exhibits. Depart and move towards Grange to stop and see the Giant's Grave and the famous Grange Stone Circle. The Frank McCourt Museum gives visitors a heightened awareness of the achievements of Frank McCourt, who grew up in abject poverty. The museum tells his story in line with the Pulitzer Prize-winning book Angela's Ashes. At the entrance, the visitor passes a bronze bust on a plinth of the late author. Inside, the museum showcases a classroom of the 1930s and the McCourt home, as described in Angela's Ashes. A collection of memorabilia is seen in display cases. Items such as school books of the period and old photos have all been donated by former pupils of Leamy's School.
It's actually, I feel that it's a very nostalgic tour, and we're hitting a bit of history from 1920s, early 30s, old Limerick and stuff, and sort of trying to convey what the conditions were like when they lived here. Well, they're feeling of that they're going back now to read the book again and watch the movie again, and some of them have read it years ago and will actually want to buy the book here again. And I felt that they were very genuine about meeting Billy. I mean, a school friend of Billy who's mentioned in the book quite a lot, and I think that was a highlight of their trip, to meet actually a school friend.
Limerick celebrated the cultural diversity of its African communities recently with a fun-filled programme of events in the city. Ireland's many links with the African continent were plain to see as people gathered in the glorious sunshine to sample musical, sporting and artistic activities. Africa Day began with the Voices of Africa concert at the Bell Table. Over 100 performers took to the stage, including the Killaloe Ballina Gospel Choir, who were joined by none other than Munster hooker Damien Varley.
Please swallow your pride if there are things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show.
Africa Day itself was on Friday, the 25th, and there were events running in the City Library over the lunchtime, art and drumming. And then on Friday evening we had the main event of the whole weekend, which was a charity concert in the Bell Table Arts Centre. So we had lots of different African performers based in Limerick, but who come from all over the continent. And in between we had local choirs and bands in order to make it a really sort of integrated event.
Limerick Sports Fest attracted multicultural teams to Crescent College Comprehensive, where a varied programme of sporting events were in full swing. The People's Park then played host to May music.
Yesterday it was slightly more informal. We had music in the People's Park and the weather was like it is today, and so we had, again, great atmosphere, great music and great crowds. And just before that there'd been a sports event, five-a-side football up at the Crescent, in which groups from Africa and from Limerick all played with and against each other.
St John's Church was the venue for a family fun day with face painters, arts and crafts, drumming and live musicians.
And it's a family day in the Dagda space, which is a great converted church, and we have art and drumming and music and face painting and hair braiding, and we're shortly going to show the Lion King Disney film. It's obviously the African community are a huge part of all the events, but also we're trying to reach out to the local community to get a better understanding of the African culture which is in our midst, and enjoy the music, meet the people and just work towards integration musically and culturally.
If you would like more information, please check out www.limerick.ie.